and Michelle was going to take her to Cumberland. And we're like, well, I can just keep. So anyway, then she texted and later on, so I was like, I'll just keep you all night. So he just treated like he came there. So I was like, go ahead.
Brian's not gonna be here.
One time all the kids, all the kids,
New guy, go with your seat.
they were saying, the getting clear, speaking, made
I don't want anybody confused about Brian Long.
All right.
I see the attorney showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on his way.
What?
Attorney's on his way. We were
No,
just,
no, no.
yeah, we were just at the.
Okay, you gotta get up. Get up. Get up, sister.
It's great.
How far behind you?
I think I heard it.
They were admired when I was like, I was over there.
So we started.
Don't need to be in that neighborhood.
There he is.
Okay.
He got a license?
He got Rob Blagojevich's. See, he's got the smart. Yeah, he got the smart.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, today.
He's not using it.
He's not using it.
We do like.
Okay.
Speeches.
All right.
It's always nice to meet
Stop there, so let's go ready. You can do it like that. Get hard. You do it. Okay, the hour of 6 o'clock having arrived, we will call the regular meeting of the Sherman Village Board to order. Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Hahn?
Yes.
Trustee Long?
Trustee Long has an excused absence.
Trustee Rockford?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
President Claffelter?
Yes. 6 members of the village board present, quorum being established, we're gonna, yes, President. Quorum being established, we'll proceed with the order of business as set forth on the agenda. For the record, today is Tuesday, March 3rd of 2020. We're at the Village Hall at 401 St. John's Drive in Sherman, Illinois. The time is 6 p.m. It's a regular meeting. That's going to move us along in the agenda to item number 2, which is the Pledge of Allegiance. And we have our honorary Pledge of Allegiance individuals who are going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and that's Harrison and Adeline. So you guys are going to start us off, okay? The Pledge of Allegiance. When you start, ready? Go.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we need to set the agenda. The agenda's been posted 48 hours in advance of the meeting in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. There can be no action items added to the agenda, but the chair would recognize any trustees seeking recognition for discussion purposes only. Seeing none, the chair would entertain a motion to set the agenda. Is there a motion to that effect? Trustee Gray makes a motion, seconded by Trustee Schultz. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? You guys have it. The agenda is set. We're going to move along really quickly to the clerk's report and take care of this. Item number 1 is the presentation of the February 18th, 2020 meeting minutes. Those have been presented by the clerk. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as presented by the clerk? Okay, seeing none, we need a motion from the floor to approve the minutes. Is there a motion to that effect? Trustee Rockford makes a motion, seconded by Trustee Tim. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Hahn.
Yes.
Trustee Rockford.
Yes.
Trustee Schultz.
Yes.
Trustee Tim.
Yes.
5 members voting yes, none voting no. The February 18, 2020 minutes are approved as presented. Item number 2 is the presentation of the February 18, 2020 executive session minutes. We can't discuss these out loud. I saw that the administrator had asked if you had any questions and needed to review them or anything along those lines. So that being said, we need to approve the executive session minutes if there are no issues regarding them. Trustee Gray makes a motion, seconded by, Trustee Schultz, to approve the executive session minutes of February 18th, 2020. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Hahn.
Yes.
Trustee Rockford.
Yes.
Trustee Schultz.
Yes.
Trustee Tim.
Yes.
5 members voting yes, none voting no. The executive session minutes are approved for February 18th, 2020. The next item is the presentation of bills for approval. In your board packet, you have the bills, right? Correct? Yes. Yes. So the bills are presented for approval. Any questions regarding the bills? Question regarding the bills. Now, there is a treasurer's report that's also in your board packet. Going along with what I'm getting ready to say here, Treasurer Stumble isn't here this evening. So they had a death in the family, which is the reason why he isn't here this evening. That being said, do you have any questions regarding the bills? Okay. We'll approve the bills for payment. We need a motion to that effect. Trustee Schultz makes a motion, second by Trustee Tim. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Hahn.
Yes.
Trustee Rockford.
Yes.
Trustee Schultz.
Yes.
Trustee Tim.
Yes.
5 members voting yes, none voting no. The bills are approved for payment. So that piggybacks on the treasurer's report. It's included in your document. My feeling is to just accept it this evening. We'll add it to the website. If there would happen to be any change or small minor correction needed, we'll change that in the future, but I don't see that even happening. But without the treasurer here to 110% fully confirm that, I feel comfortable moving forward with what he's presented. Everybody else? Okay, so we need a motion to approve the treasurer's report. Motion to that effect. Trustee Tim makes a motion, seconded by Trustee Hahn. Clerk, could you call that roll?
Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Hahn.
Yes.
Trustee Rockford.
Yes.
Trustee Schultz.
Yes.
Trustee Tim.
Yes.
5 members voting yes, none voting no. The treasurer's report is adopted as presented and will be added to the village website. Okay, so instead of moving to the village engineer's report right now, what I would like to do is bring our esteemed guests and the leaders of Make Our Village Exceptional, former dean of the village board, one with the most institutional knowledge this town has ever seen regarding all things Sherman. So if I could please ask Mrs. Zibutus and Mrs. Murgatroyd to come forward regarding M.O.V.E. Initiatives and information, and present to the board. The floor is yours.
Okay. Well, I am from Sherman M.O.V.E., and I'm going to go through some of our accomplishments because while you deal with a lot of the business, you may not know everything that we do in the village. So we saw a need and wanted to beautify the village, and we saw that Public Works was very taxed with all the mowing and maintenance that they do around town. So we're trying to fill in. So some of the things we have done in the 3 years we've been in existence is we got the program for the trees in the park instituted and all those trees planted through donations. We also got the trees planted in the boulevards. We did work at Meredith Underpass, but we had to kind of slow down on there because we had a problem with chiggers. We worked in the Village Hall area, in the bed there, that I think the Boy Scouts initially did that. We maintained it and cleaned it up. We do the corner at Sini's. We planted all the perennials, we planted a tree, and we maintain it. We've done work at Waldrop Park. We maintained the sign and the bed there around it. And we had the murals painted on the concession stand. The pods at Sherman Crossing, there's 3 of them. We maintained those and we changed them out seasonally. The roundabout, per the village request, we took that over as maintaining and we planted it with perennials. And will continue maintaining it. The police department, per the village request, we came in and cleaned up the beds there, and we are currently maintaining it. The boulevards, the 3 that are planted with perennials, we had those planted, and Kim can attest, there's a lot of maintenance, and we've maintained them. We had a homeowner request from Brookside Glen to clean up around the sign that where you could pull into Brookside Glen. So we cleaned that up and we will be planting there. We had the rock donated by Jack Ely, and he was very generous in that respect. When we look around the village, there's still more we want to see done. We had a request from the homeowners in Crown Point to do something about, especially the east one, the entrance that's overgrown. And so we've reached out to the Boy Scouts and we want to do something in the future, hopefully this summer, to improve that. We would like to see something done in Route 66 Park, beginning with removal of the dead trees. And we would like to work with the village in their plan and carrying it out. Meredith is dying out. The bagworms are completely decimating those evergreens there, and they'll probably be gone at the end of this summer. And the roses have died out. The ones on the southwest side, there's only one left, so something needs to be done there. The entrance sign, I bug Mike all the time about those entrance signs. I say, Mike, every time I come in here, for 3 years I talk about those entrance signs, and you say we're gonna do something. Well, we need lights and we need landscaping around them. So we've been working with Mike and Public Works, and we get along great. We just wanna move forward, but our biggest problem is water. And so with that, I'm gonna defer off to Nancy, because we're trying to resolve it. So we have a presentation to make on the water. Nancy?
Our biggest problem, like she said, is watering. Everything she's told you about we've done, it all needs to be watered. And a lot of ladies over the age of 50 have been watering, and we just can't do it anymore. It's gotten to that point. There's a guy, Dave Thurber, I think you probably know him, one of our members. It's her dad. And he has graciously agreed when he comes back from Florida that he would take over watering for us in conjunction with the Public Works and using their truck and, you know, that kind of thing. And we discussed it with Mike, and Mike thought that we could work something out, because we just can't keep things alive. And that's our problem. We make these investments and then it dies. And so we definitely need to hire somebody to do this for us.
You're saying that would be Dave?
Dave Thurber has agreed to, you know him.
Yes,
You're
absolutely.
president. Okay. Yeah, he supposedly is coming back in the spring, you know, from Florida, and Chelsea said he'd be happy, you know, to take that on. And depending on, you know, what he has to water, we have trees down at the park, the big park. Kim, your tree need to be replaced. And Harold's gonna do that, but then that also means that it needs to be watered once a week, you know, in order to keep it alive. So water is our biggest issue with everything that we want to do, and, you know, all the investments that we make. So if we can solve that one water problem, that'd take care of everything.
I had actually, not to stop you, but I had talked to Dave about actually working, he had expressed interest in volunteering or even helping out on with Public Works. And I obviously had those conversations with him, so I'm happy to hear that you guys had talked to him too. I think that we could actually just hire him on Public Works.
Yes.
He'd be completely covered in terms of all insurance issues
Yeah.
and have access, and that would, let's just do that. Let's get him hired up for this season. That will pretty much be his role and responsibility to stay on top of stuff for Sherman Move. And, you know, he doesn't have to work like a full-time schedule, or
Right.
figure out the
Right.
scheduling with, you know, with
Depending on
Director
it all.
Newton.
And, you know, during the middle of the summer, it's hotter, he's got to do it more often.
Absolutely.
You know, but yes, we would very much appreciate if you could look at hiring him on a temporary basis to solve our water problem. Jim,
Yeah, covers for the use of the village equipment and everything, so
Yes.
that'll work out, yeah, we'll do that, that's right.
Great.
the other thing that was our problem, like Kim can attest to, is weeding in the median. And if you looked recently, you know, Carpentry was out there, they cleaned up all the old stuff and they're putting all the new mulch down, looks nice. And Jim Johnson Lawn Care has volunteered to go ahead and spray that free of charge for us throughout the summer. So that's gonna be a biggie for us too. The other things, like what she mentioned, you know, the entrance signs, seems to me that we've talked about entrance signs, what, 10 years maybe we've talked about it? And it's something we really need to, you know, to tackle, and we would be happy to help with landscaping and all. Many people come to us and say, you know, what's the deal? It looks terrible, they're like Carter's, and then, yeah, right. And I know they just got a new one at the library, you know, and you wouldn't want the library to have better signs than the village, really. So we really need to push that, and I think that, I know we pay more money for that. We pay more taxes to the library than we do to the village, I totally know all that, yeah. But if we could do something, we would love to, you know, get involved in that. Route 66, I know Mike said they're getting rid of the dead trees, you know, and, you know, I know there's something going on, but that is, the things that we hear, you know, people get in touch with us all the time, and the different things they want to see happen, and so we're trying to put together, you know, our spring, summer, you know, projects, and, Meredith Drive, of course, would be another one, and if the Boy Scouts or somebody, Eagle Scouts come to you again, that would be something maybe they could look at, trying to, you know, get a badge for it. And we will always assist, you know, them with their projects. I know in the past they put together, you know, a blueprint and the plans and all that. And so anything we can assist with, we'd be happy to do that. So, would you solve my water problem? And that's basically the reason. And any questions on Move? You know, we're doing Queen of Hearts every Wednesday night. You know, if you got nothing to do and you need $10,000, you know, tomorrow night, show up. It could happen.
Right?
Somebody's gotta win it.
How many cards is it down to?
Good.
Well, okay, we can subtract this. You got a calculator? They've had 26 weeks and
Right,
there's
it's about halfway.
54, 54 cards.
Yes, we're about halfway.
Yeah, so it's about time somebody's gonna win it.
How's fundraising going for Move?
That is our primary fundraiser right now, you know, our partnership in the Queen of Hearts. We haven't done a Globe Bingo or anything like that, so, you know, it's a lot slower than what we've had in the past, you know, as far as,
Yeah.
as money.
It's not like Globe Bingo though. I mean, it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna bring in the money that Globe Bingo did.
Yeah, that was like a one night boom.
Without saying the amount that's in your bank account right now,
Okay,
I
it's
mean,
more than 5,000,
so,
but
yeah.
it's less than 10.
Well, what I would like to do, and we had talked about it before, is every year for Move to know, and for us in terms of budgeting, to set aside a portion of dollars, something supplemental to also help with any projects that, you know, that you may have, in addition to your fundraising, just so that you know that there's a baseline of, you know, some amount that's coming in from that as well, so that continues to build your funds, whether you use it or you don't use it, but those funds are sitting there, because we're partners. I mean,
Right.
Move
Oh,
is
yes.
as much an extension of the village as, you know, it's a great
Yes.
partnership.
Everybody thinks it's one out there, they truly
They
do.
do.
It
You
is, and we want to, I can't thank the members of Move enough for everything that you do, especially as we grow and try to beautify our town. Because putting it in at one given point in time doesn't mean it's gonna always look that beautiful. It takes, you know, the sweat and the sweat equity to keep it going. So, yeah, we're definitely partners with you. I'm trying to think what else I was gonna say regarding this. Anybody else have anything?
We do have a lot of ongoing expenses, so I truly appreciate the offer to do that, because, you know, just to do this median, you know, it costs a bunch of money to get that mulch put in there and then to clean that up,
Because
you
we
know.
have to pay Crawford Tree to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we can't bend over anymore, that's our problem. We
That
can't
is the
bend
truth.
over.
And I'm not over 50 yet, but I still can.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that. We have 1% less than 50 that helps.
Regarding the signs though,
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
we have looked at that for a very long time, you know, and we need to move, we
Yeah,
really
we
do.
do.
We've
We
gotten
really do.
various different bids, we need to move towards new signs at our north and south entries and electronic reader boards that we could create a revenue source from, because there is a ton of people who would love to advertise birthdays
Yeah.
and everything, you know, that would be acceptable for those electronic reader boards that could generate revenues. We used to try and put a few happy birthday, what's that?
And there's gonna be a nice large sign at the park on the corner that you're talking about, right? That nice large sign there on the corner where the park is, that would have all of this information on it rolling through. That's what they say, Shields pay for their sign in less than a year.
Mhm.
And if you've seen the big Shield sign, and it's strictly through advertising and that kind of thing. So, you know, there's a lot of potential, and we need to know things, and we need to know them quick.
Right.
Quicker than you can take it down and put the letters on it. And put it back.
Well, it is 20 years old.
That's, those signs, that's why we had to cut everything
Older than
out.
that.
Well, we put those new signs in right after Frank was the IML president, because that next summer they came here for their golf outing and we put new
So we had to
signs.
have signs up.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that would be great.
So that was
And we'd be
2000.
happy, you know, to help in any way that we can.
And
We're
lit,
trying to make it look, yeah, definitely.
lighted, absolutely.
Yes, because when you come into Sherman at night,
Yeah, you can't. see.
there's no sign, you can't see anything
Mhm.
that says Sherman.
Yep.
It's dark.
And with as many functions that we have, you know, at the park, they need to know when they hit Sherman.
Oh, that's absolutely right. I mean,
Yes.
advertising that and our guy, the manpower and the time that it takes Public Works to actually change those
Yes,
boards that are out there now.
it's crazy.
It's all,
And everyone has electronic signs. I mean, everybody in Sherman has electronic signs
Yeah.
practically.
Yeah.
So that'd be great. But thank you for your time. I don't take any more time. And thank you for your offer to help with our watering and our funding. Thank you very much.
Thank you. But yeah, and those, going back to the signs, we could take the existing signs and put those on the east and west ends of Sherman, you know, those entrances. So, okay, anybody else have anything regarding M.O.V.E.? But again, thank you,
Thank you.
and please extend our thanks to the entire group for everything that they do
We will.
and continue to do, so.
Thank you.
I know that Laura, you've taken them all and ran with this and, you know, so you've done a lot, like literally a lot, where I've seen you working.
Yeah, but my milk jug days are over. I'm not carrying those milk jugs anymore.
Oh, yeah, if you could see the back of her car,
Okay,
gardening tool.
all right, very good. The village engineer, do you have anything to report?
We're working on Old Tipton, and there's an intergovernmental agreement on tonight's agenda, and that goes forward. We're on track to have the bike trail letting this year, hopefully no later than summer.
Questions regarding?
You'll have the
Engineers
bike trail
report?
what? I'm sorry.
The letting,
Okay.
yeah, we still have an issue. Even though we let it, we're still gonna run into the Indiana bats mating season, you can't take trees down, kind of thing. You're laughing, but it's true.
The legal report?
Yeah, what's in the
Nothing under legal? Village administrator?
I only have a couple things. One, you remember last meeting, Al Rivera, the owner of Cancun, come forward with a BG license. JJ Ventures has worked with them, and they've got the machines in, I believe now, they're about ready to hold it up. You'll start seeing signs posted out there, flags that the video gaming is not allowed. Second thing is as you may be aware, Fairlane Diner has been up for sale for some time, and it recently sold. The new owner and operator started his operation on Monday. They have applied for a new VG, new liquor, and all those licenses have been approved as a new tenant. I cannot pronounce his name, but I believe it's Redjev Saduki. That's all I can tell you on that. Nice young guy. He's actually extended an offer to help out in any way we want him to, with our parks events and everything else. He really wants to be involved in the community. Two of the big things he's looking at adding to the menu for Fairlane is going to be ice cream and an increased ice cream volume. He's going to have a new machine installed and slushies as well for the kids and who else could enjoy those. So he's in operation now, and he couldn't make it to tonight's board meeting, but I'm sure he'll be at a future board meeting. He said he was pretty busy, which is a good thing. So I just wanted to update you on that.
Okay. So that'll move us along to the president's report. Item number 1 is a resolution regarding an intergovernmental agreement with the Village of Williamsville on the bike trail maintenance. Do you have that printed off in here?
Yes, there's a copy too.
Okay.
It's the same.
Everybody has this. It's a simple agreement between the two villages regarding the maintenance of the trail. There's not a whole lot of stuff to kind of go into. It stipulates the obligations of each village and what should happen and what will happen regarding funding, construction, maintenance, and so forth. That being said, council, do you have anything to add? Does anybody have any questions regarding this? So we need to do this, and when I say need, we need to do this because this is one of the last things in the process as the engineer stipulated regarding moving forward and making sure that there is a letting this summer. That being said, there's a couple edits that I want to point out that need to just be a scrivener's error essentially. In item number 2, under the therefore clause, it says Williamsville's primary contact with Sherman shall be its mayor or president, or I'm sorry, mayor or the mayor's designee. I suggest that we keep it uniform with what statute is, essentially put president and then in parentheses mayor, because in statute it's referenced that mayor equals president, president equals mayor, essentially. So if you keep reading, then it says Sherman's primary contact with Williamsville shall be its president or president's designee. So just incorporate it, just say president and mayor for both entities. Clean up, edit, simple outside the margin type of thing here on 6 and 7, where the return of the, well, is that right? No, that's actually correct.
It's number 8, I think. No,
That should be good.
It's A, B, C, D, and E.
That was just a formatting thing that I was seeing, but I think it might be okay. Or I would tab that over just to clean it up and make it flow better. Does that make sense? Tab over lease, tab over conditions, so it's all underneath
It's
7.
on the side too.
Yeah, it's just a visual thing. Okay, outside of that, that's all I have. Anybody? Substance? So we need a motion to approve an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Williamsville and the Village of Sherman as it sits on the table. Is there a motion to that effect? Trustee Gray makes a motion, seconded by Trustee Rockford. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
Trustee Hahn,
Yes.
Trustee Rockford,
Yes.
Trustee Schultz,
Yes.
Trustee Tim.
Yes.
5 members voting yes, no voting no. The agreement will be signed by the village president and is approved this week. Yes, with the changes. Item number 2 is an easement. This is tabled, right?
Yeah.
Item number 2 is tabled. Easement to Ameren, Illinois for underground electrical at Sherman Police Department for fiber optic building by Cascom. That's tabled at this evening. Brings us to item number 3, WJHS request for sponsorship. This is that $100 we already agreed to, but we're gonna formalize it this evening with a motion to, this is for the 8th grade, right?
Yep.
The 8th grade request for their dance. Motion to approve $100 to that group. Trustee Gray makes a motion, seconded by Trustee Schultz. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
Trustee Hahn,
Yes.
Trustee Rockford,
Yes.
Trustee Schultz,
Yes.
trustee Tim.
Yes.
5 members voting yes, none voting no, that measure is adopted. Committee and department reports, nothing, nobody. Chief Banger, anything to report from the police department? Emergency Management Agency, Director M.O.V.E.
Got a couple things for ones to sort of mention and bring you up to date on. First of all, Chief Banger and his staff and myself were at Sherman Elementary School this morning for their tornado drill, and it just makes you proud of how well those kids did. I mean, they were quiet in line. It was great, so they did a nice job. And then the principal had some questions, and we did some suggestions after reviewing some of its environments. But everything I thought went real nicely. The electronic alerting system, I had mentioned to you at a prior meeting that the county had a new system and was going to be offering it to municipalities to use, which we felt would be good to replace our alert system. They had initially indicated that they wanted it ready to go prior to the storm season. That is not going to happen. So we're planning on continuing with alert as best as possible until they are ready to announce and release instruction for us to be able to access it. Third item was in regards to our siren on the north side that has been down. It's going to be worked on and hopefully repaired this Thursday. CWLP was able to clear their schedule and indicated they'll be out there that day to work on it. And then the last thing to mention, which is sort of weird because I'm not really forming a CERT team, but I was asked to sit in be a interim director, regional director for the Illinois CERT Association. So I don't know why, but somebody volunteered me, I guess, and all that. The last thing I thought I'd mention, if I could put my other hat on for the chamber, is that this Friday, the chamber is going to be doing another one of its breakfast benefit programs, a member benefit program. And these we try to do 2 a year. That is offered to both our members in the business community and really open it up to the public too as best as possible. We're going to have this time a presentation by LRS on cybersecurity for the small business, and also Kevin Lloyd of Lloyd IT Services will be there to provide a brief update too on the services he provides. If anybody's interested, talk to me or Sean, and or go to our website. Information's there. It'll be Friday, 7 in the morning. Breakfast is going to be provided, and it'll be at the final floor. And anybody have any questions for me? Thank you.
Good, thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
The final floor.
The final floor open?
They are that day.
Friday morning.
What they say, start early,
I didn't specify what the breakfast contained.
Bloody Mary bar.
Bloody Mary bar, I'll see you there, Mike.
Can you just very briefly let the board know the information that you included on the website?
Oh, sure. We had, Trevor had put out a piece of information, and when I got back from overseas, I was contemplating it. And it sort of was perfect timing with what the school district did, was to put some information out about the coronavirus, I want to say the beer virus. And so what we've done is on our website, and we've advertised it on Facebook too, is some general information. And things like this, what I try to do is reference the professionals that have that information. So basically it's a news story that talks about, has a Red Cross poster on it, and then I have a link going directly to the Red Cross site that talks about the virus, the precautions, how it's, what's going on with it, and how to prepare for it. And then also another link going to the Department of Public Health
basically a Q&A, and that obviously is a updated. I do get, because I do still volunteer for the Red Cross and the state EOC, I do get the CDC reports, and things like that, and it's really not different from what the media is saying in that sense, that there is no cure at this time. There's hope that with warmer weather, and I did see a robin today, so warmer weather is coming, that it will diminish hopefully in its spread. But there is expectation that if it does do that come next winter, we will still have the virus come back. It's like the flu. The only difference on this is it's a little bit more proactive, and we don't have a cure for it, but it's got around a 2 to 3% fatality rate, which is pretty low when you consider Ebola is 67%. So it's one of those things that they're hoping that by next fall, that if we are able to get over this hump, that if anything, the vaccine that they're working on would be part of the normal vaccine that we get every winter, that blend that they try to make, it would be included in that blend. So we have been proactive in the sense of getting information out to the public, and obviously if there's anything new that comes up. We've also had the fire department, the police department, myself, and then Mike, we've had some discussions about supplies for employees and our action plans in case something did happen, because obviously you could have people go down sick from, I think we just had an illness go through the boardroom the other day. I wasn't looking at anybody or anything, but it was,
You're so lucky one. It was a violent illness.
It was brutal.
but that's a perfect example of how easy it can go. And the precautions are no different than the flu. Careful washing, staying away from crowds, or, when you're sick, and wear a mask when you're sick. Otherwise, things carry on as normal. Hopefully that will be what it is.
We should have worn masks.
Or maybe never wear one.
And that's the key, is the person that is, and you see that in Japan predominantly, where it's the person that is ill is wearing the mask, it's not the healthy ones. So, is that it?
Okay.
I went too long.
Good. Thank you, sir. Public Works has the evening off. That brings us to new business, of which there's no new business on the agenda, no old business. We come to civic organizations. We have no civic organizations listed. So we come to public comment period. We already heard from two of our guests who had signed in, which would also be essentially covered under the civic organization component of it. But then we have one individual who signed in, Ms. Sandra Walden, and she writes maybe.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were gonna have a treasurer's report approved tonight or not, but if not, I was gonna ask when that was gonna happen, because the last one posted was November, so.
Okay. All right. That concludes the public comment period. There is no executive session this evening. Any further business to come before the board? Nothing? Anything? I think there's nothing before we adjourn. You guys want to change next meeting? There's actually 5 Tuesdays in this month, so we could push it back a week to the 24th, March 24th. March 17th is Election Day, as well as St. Patrick's Day.
I'll be out of town too, so
On which,
17th, so that would work better for me.
okay, let's move next meeting to March 24th, and then we'll put that out on social media, change the websites,
Change the size.
change the signs.
He can do from his phone, we gotta do signs.
It's very
Oh, yeah, it's done.
Just like that?
Okay, So March 24th is the next meeting of the Sherman Village Board. That it?
Yeah, that's the. What's that?
Anybody have anything? All right, let's get out of here. Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion to that effect? Trustee Rockford makes a motion, seconded by Trustee Gray. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, you guys have it. Board is adjourned at 6:42.